Hello again and welcome to another episode of In Power Health. It's the program that teaches you to have health and power with health. I'm Alex Assing, feeling healthy today, and it's so nice to have you with us. Thanks very much for joining us alongside Dr. Myers, where we give you real information every single time and help you to optimize your health. Let's say hello to our viewers out in the Southlands, and especially to you if you're checking us out online as well. So hello to we have our viewers in Mexico, in the States, hi to New York, in England as well, and Canada, and anywhere you may be around the world. So nice to have you. You know, good information. That's why you're checking it out in Power Health. Remember, food is medicine. Whatever you eat, make sure you eat the right foods and the right combination of foods. And of course, live a lifestyle that would enable you to stay strong, stay healthy, stay fit, so we can enjoy a long life. Like Dr. Myers. There we go. So Doc,
sound like you slept well last night.
I tried. Yeah, I did actually. So it's good to have a full night's rest. That's always important.
All right.
Doc, someone was asking about black cumin.
Yes, and I decided to touch on it this morning.
Great.
You know, it's very interesting. You know.
I'm not too sure what black cumin is. I know about ground cumin that we use in curry. Something similar, I guess.
Black cumin seeds is the seeds of the cumin plant.
Oh, okay.
Right?
All right, so they're
and they have black
seeds.
type. It's been used since in the time of the Pharaoh. I have a little note here stating that the research in the Middle Ages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the personal doctors of the pharaohs always had a bowl of black cumin seeds handy to use as a digestive aid after extensive dinners, or as an effective medicine for colds, headaches, toothaches, and infections.
I love it.
In the grave of the pharaoh Tutankhamun, archaeologists found a bottle of the ancient medicine in preparation for life after death.
Wow.
Right? It went on to say that the best black cumin seeds, the ones that seem to have the most effectiveness for therapeutic effectiveness, is the Egyptian black cumin,
Right.
which grows literally out on the desert. You know, concentration of various active ingredients of the black cumin depends upon the harvesting process.
Okay.
Different methods for cultivation, harvesting, and extraction leads to significant discrepancies. The same goes for all impurities that occur during any 3 stages of the process. You have that same thing too. Anytime you have a herb, and the herb is a wonder herb, you always have a lot of different ways of processing it, and each way yields a particular type of compound that is good for certain things. Right? So it has been used, black cumin, for all sorts of things. The first thing is that it enhances the immune system. Right?
Perfect.
Found to have positive effects on the immune system. So they say that it is good for the bone marrow, for the building of blood.
Oh, nice.
It helps the T cells and the lymphocytes. It says that you take a certain dose, and you can get an improvement in it. And we'll go down into the various doses and the uses at the moment. It's good for allergies, asthma.
Asthma.
Yes. So black cumin increased susceptibility to infections, fungal infections, rashes or severe irritation such as pneumodermatitis, disruptions of the digestive tract, diarrhea, significant weight loss, inexplicable aches and pains, decreased performance, exhaustion, circulating problems, and also impotence. Right?
Okay.
So they even have a study here, black cumin with cancer, on use of cancer.
Yeah, I knew you were probably
the traditional. Right? So it is an ideal substance, they say, for cancer prevention. So it stimulates the production of bone marrow cells, increases the production of immune cells. It increases interferon in the body, which is a steroid that works well, right, in helping the immune system. Body cells are better protected against damaging influences. Tumor cells are destroyed, and the number of B cells that produce antibodies is increased. You know, so
this is black cumin we're talking about. Oh my gosh.
The protective function of antioxidants. So it's a strong antioxidant, and it supports the immune system. It keeps the metabolism up. It destroys free radicals, and provide protection against cancer and other diseases. Is black cumin oil especially is very good.
So you need to have it extracted from the seed.
Yes, they have various. This is why I say we're going on into the production.
Lovely.
He says the following chapters cover in alphabetical order the conditions for which black cumin provide relief and give tips for self-treatment. For more severe problems, you should consult a doctor for accurate diagnosis. Although it possesses remarkable healing qualities, black cumin cannot replace medical treatment. Okay, so black cumin seeds have traditionally been used in large amounts to bring on late menses. Thus, black cumin should not be used during pregnancy. Might trigger an abortion or miscarriage, as you call it. Acne is one of the most common skin disorders, usually affecting the face, the back, the chest, and the shoulders. Various blemishes. Right? He says it shows up mainly in the teenage years. The most common type of acne vulgaris. He says one of the canals is blocked. Conditions are perfect for a bacteria called propionine bacterium acne to overgrow and cause inflammation. So the magic weapon for skin problems, you could use black cumin. Usually the symptoms will diminish after 2 weeks. You take 1 to 2 capsules or 25 drops of black cumin oil 3 times a day. External application of black cumin cream will reduce scarring and discourage breakout. Eliminating all refined sugars, well, this is to help because you're dealing with a type of fungus and things like that. Elimination of all refined sugars, reducing the consumption of high-fat foods, limiting milk, and so consumption may also help.
Plays a key role,
yes,
as well when you're taking the black cumin.
He says also using vitamins A, E, and zinc may help the black cumin relieve the body of the problem much quicker.
Nice.
You know. Now, black cumin cream, you take 8 ounces of apple cider vinegar, right? And 1 cup of finely ground black cumin seeds. Repeat that. 8 ounces of apple cider vinegar, normal 8-ounce bottle.
Not my favorite, but very important. Very good.
Why, what's wrong with apple cider vinegar?
I don't know. I just need to get around the scent. It's really, really strong.
1 cup of finely ground black cumin seeds. Mix the apple cider vinegar with the black cumin seeds and let the mixture sit for about 6 or 7 hours. Filter the mixture through the church cheesecloth and let the solution sit for a day while the sediment settles at the bottom. Carefully pour out the liquid on top. Mix the remaining sediment in a 1-to-1 ratio with black cumin oil. So it's kind of a little bit involved. It's not quite straightforward. So you take 8 ounces of apple cider vinegar and 1 cup of finely ground black cumin seeds. You mix the apple cider vinegar with the ground black cumin seeds and let the mixture sit for about, let's say, 8 hours. All right.
For the day.
Filter the mixture through a cheesecloth and let the solution sit for a day while the sediment settles. Now carefully pour out the liquid on top.
Of course.
Mix the remaining sediment in a 1-to-1 ratio with black cumin oil. Right? Then heat the mixture for 2 or 3 minutes and mix thoroughly. Store in a glass jar in a refrigerator. So let's go over that again. 8 ounces apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of black cumin seeds, finely ground black cumin seeds. Mix the apple cider vinegar with the black cumin seeds and leave the mixture to...
Well, we have the ground cumin seeds.
So finely ground.
Okay.
All right.
Mix it together.
And leave it to steep for about 8 hours. Filter the mixture through a cheesecloth and let the solution sit for a day while the sediment settles to the bottom. Carefully pour the liquid on top. Mix the remaining sediment in a 1-to-1 ratio with black cumin oil. So you have to get some black cumin oil. On 1 part of that to 1 part of oil. Then heat the mixture for 2 or 3 minutes and mix thoroughly. Store in a glass jar in the refrigerator. It says, apply the cream several times a day to the effective part. The cream is most effective when it is applied before going to bed or after a facial steam bath. So in the night, you know, it's a facial steam bath.
When yeah. I do that all the time when I'm boiling rice. All right, you know what?
You could always tell them novice cook.
Yeah, it's good though.
Yeah. No, you get a bowl with hot water and or you get a steam thing and you put something on your face and let it steam. Hit the face. You got to be very careful you don't get burned though. That'll be at a distance.
It's gonna be hot.
Right? So he says you could use the cream and then take 2 capsules of black cumin oil 3 times a day. He said normally it would clear up within a couple of weeks, 2 or 3 weeks.
I don't doubt that.
So black cumin oil for allergy relief. And seasonal allergies. Okay. He says if the treatment with black cumin oil starts several weeks before the pollen season beginning,
right.
Seasonal allergy sufferers often find significant relief from symptoms. The daily dose of black cumin oil is 1 to 2 capsules 3 times per day, or if you have it, 20 to 25 drops of oil 3 times a day. Begin treatment in January because it will 2 weeks before the results are apparent. Continue treatment through the summer months. If the allergic reaction is already in progress, a black cumin inhalation will provide more immediate relief. So you smell it, you know.
Okay.
The allergic person should continue to take black cumin internally throughout the allergy season, using black cumin tea and inhalations with additional relief as needed. For the inhalation, you take 1 cup, 227 grams of finely ground black cumin seeds and a quart of boiling water. Put the black cumin seeds in a glass or ceramic bowl and add the boiling water. Stir briefly and allow the mixture to steep for 5 minutes. Wash your face, tie your hair back if it is long. Drape a large towel over your head and hold your head over the thing with the towel covering it.
That sounds real good.
Continue the inhalation treatment for 10 minutes. Repeat several times a day, first time upon waking if possible. A last inhalation before going to bed ensures a quiet and restful sleep. For black cumin tea.
Oh boy, I don't know about this one.
1 tablespoon of finely ground black cumin seeds. 1 teaspoon of 5 grams of licorice. 1 teaspoon, 5 grams of anise seeds. Anise.
Yeah.
Right. 1 tablespoon of black or green tea leaves, decaffeinated if you prefer, and 1 pint, 50 mils of water. Mix the black cumin seeds with the licorice and the crushed anise seeds and the black or green tea. Add the tea ingredients to a teapot or bowl. Pour 50 mils of very hot but not quite boiling water over the herbs and steep for 10 minutes. You could sweeten it with a little bit of honey if you wish.
If you have.
Drink 1 cup of tea 3 times a day before meals for 4 to 6 weeks. The tea can also be used as to inhale the steam, the product. He says very large doses of licorice taken over an extended length of time may have adverse effects on anyone suffering from hypertension, kidney or liver disease. Eliminate licorice from the recipe if you have any of these conditions. Consult your healthcare practitioner for advice. Pregnant women should avoid using licorice. Not very good.
Okay.
Asthma. Black cumin is very good for asthma.
I want to hear this one.
Asthma is an allergic disorder characterized by spasm of the bronchial airway tubes in the lungs, swelling of the mucus lining of the lungs, and excessive production of a thick clear mucus. During an asthma attack, the airways become narrower and breathing become more difficult. The asthmatic person experiences shortness of breath, tightness in the chest, coughing, wheezing, or some combination of symptoms. Warning that an asthma attack is occurring or may occur soon. It will include difficulty speaking, blue or grey tongue or lips, blue fingernails, flared nostrils, high pulse, wheezing or more serious wheezing stops without other symptoms abating. He says that you have to be very careful. If it is life-threatening, go to the doctor. Go to the emergency.
Good idea.
If, however, you have asthma and you're not in an emergency situation, the essential oils in black cumin have a mucus resolving and vasodilating effect. Thus, over a period of time, black cumin oil relaxes the airways, reduces the release of histamine into the bloodstream. Black cumin helps heal bronchial asthma by combating the root of the problem and stabilizing the immune system. The recommended dose for black cumin oil for asthma is 2 capsules or 25 drops 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Continue this dose for 4 to 6 months.
Oh, months. Okay. All right.
Then take a break for 2 months before starting the treatment again. Black cumin inhalations or black cumin tea can be taken several times a day. Will also be helpful in opening up the airways.
Yeah. Doc, what I'm thinking is this may also be good for snorers, people who snore, because you'll have the mucus.
Yeah, once you clear the mucus.
And you'll be clear.
The thing about snoring most of the time is just an accumulation of mucus down the back passageway there. You know?
Yeah.
So once you remove that, and anybody who's snoring plenty, the first thing I tell them to do is to stop using milk. Milk and cheese.
Dairy.
And anything dairy, you know. And normally with that and something to clear any mucus clearing herbs over a period of the cameraman was telling me moringa seeds.
Moringa.
Good for clearing mucus.
Yeah, moringa
So,
good for lots of things. Okay.
So black cumin syrup, 1 small clove of garlic, 2 tablespoons of honey, and 1 teaspoon of finely ground black cumin seeds. Crush the garlic with a garlic press, with honey and the brown black cumin seeds. If desired, warm the honey in order to make the syrup more liquid. Take 1 teaspoon of the syrup daily before breakfast and continue the treatment for about 3 weeks. You can also use black cumin syrup to prepare a tasty and healing tea. For this, you can simply dissolve a spoonful of the syrup in a cup of black or herbal tea. You can always use black cumin syrup as the basis for an effective inhalation by diluting the entire mixture 1 quart in 1 quart of hot water. And again, a warning: if you have a severe attack of asthma, don't try to treat yourself. Go to the emergency and let them take care of it.
Correct.
Bronchitis is an infection of the bronchioles. Right? It usually occurs when you have bad cold, you know, bronchitis, which is self-explanatory. The tissue swells, making breathing more difficult. Accompanying ailments are fever, severe coughing, as well as chest and shoulder pains. Black cumin has mucus dissolving and vasodilating effects, which alleviate the symptoms of bronchitis. So you will take again 2 capsules of black cumin oil 3 times a day, or 25 drops. Additional black cumin inhalations may relieve respiratory conditions. So that is where we talked about making the steam.
Good. Yeah.
Right?
Nice.
A warm foot bath on cold days help prevent lung infections, and also if you're living by the ocean, is also better. Nice. It's also good for colds and flu. It strengthens the immune system, and you have a inhalation for infections, which is 1 clove of garlic, 2 tablespoons of honey, 1 teaspoon of finely ground cumin seeds, and a quart of boiling water. Right? You crush it in boiling water, let it stand, and then put your head on the towel over it and breathe it in for 10 minutes. That helps to fight off the infection. So you could also supplement it with some vitamin C. He says concentration deficiencies. Concentration problems are not only limited to the elderly. 2 factors responsible is lack of oxygen and nutrients in the brain, or as we find out, type 3 diabetes, which is that the brain cannot handle the sugar metabolism well because of lack of insulin. He says you can regular black cumin use. It shows that you will keep a clear head. The recommended dosage for concentration of memory is 2 capsules, 3 times a day. And you can also use black cumin with an essential oil, like an essential oil. We evaporate 4 to 8 drops of black cumin oil in an aromatherapy diffuser every day. Use other essential oils that are beneficial for the mind, like rosemary, basil, laurel, and peppermint. So he says you have a black cumin for mind power. 1 tablespoon of finely ground black cumin seeds and 1 tablespoon of myrrh, 15 grams. Mix the ground black cumin seeds with the myrrh. Place in a dark glass and keep cool and dry. Take a teaspoon 3 times a day with meals. Well, that makes sense because what does the myrrh do? You could tell me what the myrrh does?
Myrrh? You mentioned it before, Doc.
I said that the 3 wise men came and gave Christ gold, frankincense, and myrrh. A lot of people think that the frankincense and myrrh.
The myrrh was supposed to ward off like spirits or
yeah, keep guessing.
Yeah.
You might make it.
Yeah.
Frankincense and myrrh are blood thinners.
Blood thinner.
And they're highly antibacterial
Right.
and antiviral too.
Okay. So it wards off the bacteria.
No, it's very good. But if you look in Chinese medicine, most of the times when you see anything to do with joint pains and circulation, you'll always see either frankincense or myrrh inside it.
Oh, nice.
Right? Because it helps to relieve pain. So in those days, the frankincense and myrrh was probably worth more than gold according to where you're buying it. You get my drift? So it wasn't a gift to make incense. It was a gift as a medicine.
To promote health.
To promote health. So you can use black seed oil for coughing, strengthening the bronchial mucous membranes. And it is also good for relieving fatigue and chronic fatigue syndromes. Now, here's something interesting. He says that one of the things that they suspect in chronic fatigue syndrome is an overgrowth of Candida albicans in the intestinal tract. He says you can help that by using the same 1 to 2 capsules 3 times a day. Or if you're making your own mixture, you can get 2 tablespoons of black cumin seeds and 1 tablespoon of royal jelly. I am rather suspicious of this 1 tablespoon of royal jelly, because if it's pure royal jelly, a person cannot use a lot of that. You know, I remember when I lived in Miami, there was a bee supply place down the road, and they used to sell honey, propolis, bee pollen, and royal jelly.
Right.
Royal jelly, a kilo of royal jelly sells for something like, I think it's $800 or $900 US. It's very expensive. And so I used to buy that, and I used to get little cups, you know, seed. And I used to put it, you know, about 3/4 full, and I used to give it to all my friends. So when you're making your juice in the morning, you take a little tip out. You know, if you try to take more, it could make you sick.
Really?
It's so powerful. So you take just a little tip out on the teaspoon, and you put that in your drink. Kind of rev you up nice.
Yeah.
You know? So when they say 1 tablespoon of royal jelly, one calls into question what if it's pure royal jelly they're talking about.
Yeah.
And then if you have 2 tablespoons of black cumin seeds to 1 tablespoon of royal jelly, you definitely can't take 1 teaspoon of that twice a day.
Okay.
It will knock the crap out of you.
That sounds like a lot.
Right. So then the also the use of black cumin oil to help alleviate conditions of type 2 diabetes. It's a serious illness, And although black cumin can help to resolve the condition, you should not self-treat. During black cumin, it is essential to remain under the care of a doctor so that the blood sugar levels and things like that can be monitored. Get your HbA1c things. But they say you take the recipe for diabetes is you take 1 cup of black cumin seeds, 227 grams, 1 cup of elecampane, which is inula helenium.
I don't know what that is.
It's a herb. 1 cup of wild majoram, right? Oreganum vulgare,
Okay.
and 1 cup of crabapple peels. See, this is not going to be easy to get. So you could grind all of them, combine the herbs and place them in a bowl. Chop the crabapple peels, spread them out on a cookie sheet, cover with cheesecloth and let them dry for a day. Then grind them up finely and mix well with other ingredients. Store the powder in a dark container. You take 1 tablespoon of the mixture about 15 minutes before each meal. Continue this mixture for 4 weeks and then slowly reduce the dosage as the blood sugar comes down. So it obviously, that mixture helps to keep the blood sugar in check. You know what I mean?
Nice.
You can use it for ear inflammation. Earache results from inflammation and infection of the middle ear. Okay. Healing the ear canal. The ear salve is 2 tablespoons of black cumin oil with 2 tablespoons of finely ground black cumin seeds. Carefully heat the black cumin oil in a pan over the stove. That means a very slow heat.
Right.
Mix the black cumin seeds in the oil and allow it to cool. Apply the salve on the outside of the ear canal. This is, you could also use it for sinusitis and colds. Then they have for eye strain, you have a black cumin eye compress. 1 tablespoon of black cumin seeds, roughly crushed. 1 cup of water, 240 mils. 2 cotton washcloths. Boil the crushed black cumin seeds briefly in water and let them sit for 10 minutes. Soak the washcloths in solution and then wring them out. Lie down and place the moist cloth on your eyes for about 10 minutes. When one cloth becomes cool, replace it in the pan with the other one. Repeat for 30 minutes until you feel relief. So they use it for that. You could take it for stomach upsets, digestion, and flatulence. You take 16 ounces of apple cider vinegar, 480 mils, 1 cup of finely ground black cumin seeds, and 8 ounces of black cumin oil. So you heat the apple cider vinegar to about 130 degrees F. Mix the black cumin seeds. Apply the liquid black cumin oil and let the liquid cool. So let's repeat that. 16 ounces of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup 227 grams of finely ground black cumin seeds, 8 ounces 240 mils of black cumin oil. You heat the apple cider vinegar to about 130 degrees. Mix the ground black cumin seeds in. Add the liquid black cumin oil and let the mixture cool, let the liquid cool. You take 1 tablespoon, preferably at room temperature, 3 times a day before meals. So every time you go to eat, you take a little bit of that mixture. And what it does, it helps to settle the stomach and build up the digestion. Black cumin oil is seed is also very effective against fungi. A lot of these medicines, when you look at them, a lot of these herbal medicines, noni and all of this, they all antifungals. You know, he says dealing primarily with candida albicans. So he says it's characterized by fatigue, allergies, chemical sensitivities, depression. You know, the use of antibiotics sometimes causes it to recur. So it is black cumin oil contains substances that strengthen the immune system and discourage the growth of fungi. Again, you use for yeast overgrowth 16 ounces of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of finely ground black cumin seeds, and 8 ounces of black cumin oil. Bring them in, same thing, you know, store in a container, and so you let the mixture boil for 5 or more minutes. You stir, remove the heat, when it has the consistency of syrup, pour into, let it cool, pour into a glass dark container, and put it in the fridge, in the refrigerator, and use 1 tablespoon 3 times a day. You know. If you have a toxic gallbladder, it doesn't say anything here about gallstones. So it just says half a teaspoon of wild marjoram, 8 ounces of honey, 1 tablespoon of black cumin seeds. Chop the marjoram and mix with honey. Grind up the black cumin seeds and combine with marjoram and honey to make a paste. You could also use it for gum problems. You could make the same paste and rub it on the gum. I would suggest that before you rub it on the gum, you take some 3% hydrogen peroxide, put it in the mouth, brush your teeth, brush your gums really, not the teeth so much, with the hydrogen peroxide in your mouth, so that it gets into the whole gum system. Okay, and then when you finish, you wash your mouth out. You can then take the paste and put it on the gums.
Good idea, Doc.
Right. To get rid of persistent headaches. Recipe for headaches: 1 cup of black cumin seeds, 227 grams, 1 cup of anise, and 1 cup of cloves. Grind all the herbs together into a fine powder. Place the powder in a dark glass container and store in a cool, dry place. Take 1 spoon 2 times a day before breakfast. Chew the powder thoroughly and swallow it. Do not wash it down with water. Allow it to be absorbed by the mouth's mucous membranes. You understand? So when you're chewing it, you're really giving it the saliva and thing, making a juice. You hold that in the mouth so that it can get, a lot of the nutrients can get absorbed in the mouth. Right. You can also use black cumin for hemorrhoids. Right. 2 tablespoons of black cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon of black cumin oil. Right. Make it into a cream. Grind and spread as a cream. The other thing that you could do is you could put it into a little paper tube, fill it, and then put the paper tube in the freezer compartment in the fridge. And then when you finish, peel it off, cut a piece off, and insert it into the rectum.
Oh, okay.
You know, that way you get a better insert by doing that. Like how you make a suppository.
Right.
So you make the suppository by coiling up some paper, you know, make a little tube, and then pour the mixture down inside there, and then put it in the fridge and let it freeze.
Right. Solidify.
So it says you can also use it in impotence. Again, you have to enhance potency, 1 cup of black cumin seeds, 1 cup of L.A. Campani, in Inula helenium.
What's that?
That's a herb.
Okay, another herb.
1 cup of wild marjoram, and 2 tablespoons of fenugreek. See the cheat. The fenugreek is the thing that is trip the mixture to carry it into a more potent mixture.
Hyperdrive.
Mix 1 tablespoon, grind all the ingredients, put them in a bowl, mix thoroughly. Mix 1 tablespoon of this mixture with honey each morning, and take about 15 minutes before breakfast. Do not swallow immediately, but let it melt in the mouth. The treatment takes 6 weeks for the energy to come back up. They have an insect repellent where they use 1 tablespoon of black cumin seeds, 1 tablespoon of powdered incense. So spread the black cumin evenly on the bottom of a cast iron pan. Sprinkle the incense up top of it. Let them both roast slowly, either over an open fire on the stove set at the lowest heat levels. Stay within range of the aromatic mixture. Yeah, so that will help to,
of course,
to ching that.
Inhale it.
So you have that. Have you use it for insomnia? Again, you could take the mixture, or you could take a few tablespoons of black cumin seed in 2 cups of water for 45 minutes. That's a strong decoction. Strain and drink. Drink it nerve tea during the day instead of coffee or black tea can help too. Nerve tea is 1 cup of black cumin seeds and 1 quart of water. And you put it, make a tea, and during the day you drink it. You put it in a thermos and drink it.
Excellent.
So we're looking here at black cumin seed using for kidney stones, but it doesn't really say that it melts the kidney stones. You know, it just says that it's an effective way of holding the pain at bay.
Right.
You know.
Gee whiz, I didn't realize that the black cumin was good for so many different conditions.
Yes, you could use
So effective.
you could use a black cumin and make a skin cream with 2 cups of apple cider vinegar, 1 cup of black cumin seeds, and 1 cup of cornstarch. So you take the vinegar, add the ground black cumin seeds, bring to a boil, and then add the cornstarch. Blend thoroughly and remove from the heat. Let it cool and store in a dark container. Well, it will come like a, you know, a flexible jelly. You know, and you could use that. So that is a basic idea of all the things that you can use. You can use black cumin seed mixed with apple cider vinegar and make a paste that you could rub on the skin for skin parasites.
Amazing.
All right, so that gives us an idea on the use of black cumin seeds.
Been around since the days of Pharaoh.
Yep.
Ancient Egypt.
Okay. Now I wanted to continue continue our references. One of the things that we don't do is we never take into consideration that stress, or even things like thinking positively, can affect us positively, but it could also affect it negatively. So I came upon 2 articles. One was the dark side of always thinking positively.
All right, good.
And the other one was Mercola saying, yes, you can die from a broken heart, and optimism makes you live longer. So you say, well, what's the difference between optimism and thinking positively? See, we never carry on these kinds of philosophical discussions about the meaning of things. You know, you say, well, this is the same. Both of them you're thinking good.
Right. No.
So you say, normally you go to you're down. Life ain't going so good. I've seen that many times. And you pass by your partner and he or she says, I'm doing well. I buy a book. Think positively and succeed. You know? Oh, you know them. They have a whole lot of them like that. And they're reading this book, and the book says, well, they give them mantras and attitudes and things like that. And they say, all right, I am going to think positively from now on. So you go along and you see them, and every time you see them now, they're supposedly in a good mood. You know, remind yourself you exist for a purpose. Everything happens with a purpose. You will achieve what you want if you visualize it successfully. You better do better. Don't be around toxic people who argue and quarrel and things. Look, choose your friends who are optimistic, so that they don't disturb your focus. Have good quotes. All right. And to take your mind and change all your negative emotions into positive emotions. This is in everything. So when you're feeling low and you're feeling down, you say, no, I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I have a purpose in life.
Keep a positive
People
focus.
need me, I can make things happen. Okay? This approach will convince you to turn off the TV, get off the couch, and do something with your life. However, when we are talking about serious problems, positive psychology can't help you solve them. In fact, this approach has a dark side. And the dark side is, instead of leading you to a solution, it enables you to keep ignoring your problems. You never meet people and they're not doing anything, and they say, how are you doing? I am happy, man. I am the epitome of happiness. I'm always smiling. You say, yeah, but you ain't doing nothing.
Okay, I got it.
You know, it's not you're not doing anything. You know, you're not doing nothing. You go on Spanish on them. Mm. So, a lot of the books about thinking positive, they never come around and say, okay, if you are in a very negative situation, day in, day out, it's very hard to hold a positive view. And even if you hold a positive view, the only thing that you have is a positive view. Instead of saying, I am in a situation, you could even feel bad about it, I am going to get out of the situation.
Okay, okay.
So I am going to lay out a plan to change that. Now, thinking positively doesn't mean to say that you have to change what is going on around you.
Right.
All you have to do is just think positively and visualize everything in your life as going well. Mightn't be going well, but you're going to visualize it.
Yeah.
And so they say that what it could do, it could get so good at it that you end up just ignoring all your problems and bumping through life. Whereas, if you are in a situation and the situation demands action, it's much better to be optimistic.
Right.
Because if you're optimistic, what will you do?
Well, you'll always find a way to.
You'll
forward.
find a way to get out of it.
Yeah.
You will always be looking. So right away you see feeling good and being optimistic are really two totally different things.
Okay.
One suggests more activity and work at getting
Action.
out, and the other one is, well, you know, I good, I happy, you know.
Sort of not really being complacent, but I guess you. Well, yeah, like you said, you're more or less ignoring.
Yeah, you know. So he says, positive psychology books are not complete nonsense. Your thoughts have an effect on your actions and complete well-being.
Right.
The approach, that's the real problem. You can't change your life by reading a book and repeating positive affirmations. Even the slightest personal change is a whole process.
Right.
If we're trying to change our whole mindset from a negative to an affirmative, we are looking the greatest challenge of our lives right in the face. So, guy living in a town, you know, on the river bank.
Right. Sounds good.
River floods, giant flood. All the water come up,
That's a good idea.
and he on top the roof by him, and he's a very religious guy. So he kneels down and he prays, God, rescue me, otherwise I could drown, you know. So he said the prayers and thing, and a little while later, a helicopter comes over, do good. Come on, we'll pull you up. And he says, no, it's all right, everything good, right? And he sits there. So 15, 20 minutes later, a boat passed. Chug. Come in the boat. He said, no, I'm all right. You know. Hour later, bunch of guys passed with all plastic bottles tied together, and they tie themselves to the bottles, and they're floating down the river. You know, they will get out. They will swim out. Say, jump in and hang on. He said, no, I am all right. A little while later, the house started to crumble underneath him. He said, God, I'm just praying to you to come and rescue me. And a voice says, who the hell you think send the helicopter and the boat and the fellas with the little raft?
Good grief.
You understand the gist of the story?
Yeah.
Is that we
That's
set up things, we set up positive thinking patterns, and we ask for something, but we don't know how it's going to happen, and we can't recognize it when it happens.
Right. Ooh, that was very clear.
It's like somebody says, I ain't working nowhere. You know? I need to have a job, I need to think my family and thing. And they pray and thing, and they go down the road. When they go down the road, they talk into the party. I say, oh God, boy, why working there? They need people just like you. You know, why you don't come down and talk to the boss? He said, I'll put in a word for you.
Yeah.
He said, where's your place? He said, I'm in San Fernando. What time you had to get to work? 7:30. Nah, boy, how I go get down there? I can't do that. And he leave it. It doesn't occur to him that he might go down to San Fernando and get the job, and then the boss will, or somebody says, well, where are you coming from? He says, Port of Spain. He says, nah, boy, what you should do is move, you know. You should come down close here. And if you come down, you have children, we'll get them in a good school up the road for you and everything, and to do this and do that.
That could happen.
Right?
But how would you know?
And I have a house there that I was going to rent. I'll let you have it. So you find all your problems solved in a way that you
in that
never
one
think.
move, yeah.
So, but we never accept that whenever something comes, if it doesn't come in the way that we expect it, then it is not what God sent you. Rather than saying that it is what the universe is offering you, and when the universe offers you things, it normally offers you things with all kinds of help inside it that you that you don't think about. You follow me? So you have to understand that when you're reading these books and the book says self-help, and you say, okay, I am going to visualize myself as successful. But if you're visualizing yourself as successful, a whole heap of things have to happen to you into your life for you to be successful.
To bring you to that point.
So if you're home and you have no money and you have to get a job, and 2 days later you meet your partner and you say, boy, it have some things coming down there, come and get a hand now, man, the pain good and thing. And you say, nah, man, I'm visualizing. Right? You say, what do you mean? Well, I'm visualizing I'm going to win $3 million. And all right.
So you're holding on to that.
Yes, you're holding on. So what you don't understand is that when you visualize something, there cannot be success without activity.
Right.
So you have to plan, you have to strategize. So and when that comes, you have to take that gift that the universe offering you and make use of it.
You gotta be flexible.
You know, sometimes you hear people they say, well, I was broke, boy, and I pray to God I could win the lottery. And I win the lottery, I win $50 million. I said, what you going to do? I don't know.
Okay.
I've sat in Miami and hear people say that, I don't know. If you say, what do you mean you don't know? You say, well, I never had $50 million before, I don't know what to do.
Oh boy.
So the people who run the lottery also have people to advise them how to strategize the money and put it somewhere where they'll get back some money. Otherwise, what happens is they take the $50 million and 4 years later you see them on the television, are broke. They give all the family a little $1 million, and they give all their friends a little $200,000, and then by the time they finish, they realize they're broke. That and a little squander mania going on because they have no idea about dealing with that. So you begin to understand that a lot of the problems that people tend to have are problems of their own making because of a concept that they have in their head of that they want success, and they also have a concept within their limited range as to how they will achieve that success. So when they pray to God and they say, I want success, what they really say is, I want the easiest way out. Okay, so if you then put some optimism on that, not optimism, but if you put some feeling happy on it, then now they don't have a reason to go out and look for anything because they're hungry but they're happy. You know, because that's how God ordained it. I have something to learn. You know, they say, no, to hell with that. I don't care what God is doing. You know, I go and do my own thing.
I hear that.
Yeah. I once saw a Viking film, and in the middle of this storm in the North Sea, and the North Sea there's the most terrible storm I've ever been in is the North Sea. 40-foot waves. When the boat get down between them two waves, and you look, say they have no way that water is swallowing me.
Wow.
And then you see it come up on top of it, reach the top, and it's going over because they had to keep the boat pointing in the direction it had to take. It just reached there, and the whole boat just dropped 10 or 15 feet.
Yeah.
And so now it ain't dropping flat, it dropping going down.
Yeah.
So it dropped and it rushed down into the wave. And water washed over the whole boat, and then the boat popped back out and going up the hill again. Right? That was in one of those ones.
Oh,
yes, when I was young. Yeah, okay. I took a ferry to go to Sweden in the winter.
Right.
And the captain, who had been doing that for about 30 years and had never been seasick for about 20-something years, got violently ill.
Wow.
It was so bad. He says he's never seen anything like that.
Okay.
And if he was in the bed, you know, it get tang, tang, and you'd want to bump the bunk on top of you. So you having gone through that, I'm looking at this film with this Viking guy,
Right.
and he's in this little boat, right, with this 40-foot waves coming at him, and he's starting with the boat. He say, "I thought all it was bad. That's all he could send.
Okay.
All you go and say, all you bad and all you terrorize human beings. That is all you could do. I thought you were going to send a real storm."
Wow. I wouldn't have said that. I
And
would
you
have kept my
see-
mouth shut. To the deal.
So you begin to realize that nobody teaches us how to challenge bad things when it happened to us.
Okay, good point.
You know, I was reading a Jewish book on meditation, and the fellow says that the old prophets, whenever bad things happen in their life and they're going down the road and real suffering, they used to go outside and say, "That is all you could send. Send some more, man. Let me make up some mileage." Because they believe when they make up all our mileage, then after that the sun will shine, and it will shine brighter than before.
Yes.
Right? So the idea is, send me more suffering. Don't pile it up on me. Let me get it over with.
Right.
But we don't. Nobody's ever taught us that kind of
That approach?
willpower,
Yes.
arrogance. I don't know what to call it. You know, but that what you're doing is, in the height of everything, when everything looks like it's going to be bleak, that's the point you go out and you challenge. I mean, if God is anything like us, he say, "What's the matter with Alex there?" We send him a whole heap of nonsense, and he outside there begging for more. You know, so you take that, and then I come upon McCullough's website, and he's talking about the broken heart syndrome.
Yeah.
You know, the other day, the other thing with he's talking here about Debbie Reynolds died from a stroke, and the next day or the next 2 days the mother died because they were very inseparable. You see that all the time. You have two people and they're living together for 50 something years, and the wife died or the husband died, and they say, "I ain't able with this now, boy. I need to go."
Happens all the time.
And within a week they're gone. Boom. They're gone because the other half gone, and they can't make. They don't know what it is like. So you could take that to that extreme, or you could take it and bring it down and say that if you have a negative effect in your life, covering it up with a good thoughts doesn't help, because the negative effect's still underneath there. What you need is the ability to think how to come out of it, and then the optimism to go and try the thing that you have.
Right.
And if that thing don't work, in the middle of trying it, you say, "Let me try something else."
Yeah,
And you keep trying things until everybody I know who thinks like that, they've always been successful. Always. But the problem is that we give up easily.
You gotta make a start.
We give up very, very easily. You know? So I just thought I'd mention that, because people don't understand. It's like we did the last show there a couple of weeks ago, and I pointed out to you that water and just thinking changes the water.
Correct.
And so if it changes the water, and it changes the water in a negative way, and we're 70% water, and we start thinking negatively, then it means it affects our whole body. We change the electromagnetic potential of the body, and we make ourselves sick. You know, we think everything is physical, you know, when 90% of the time it's not physical at all. In fact, in Chinese medicine, they say that all sickness starts in the mind and the emotions.
It triggers.
Yes, everything is triggered. Once you disrupt that and the whole thing come apart, that's it. You can't do anything about it.
Wow. Yes.
Yes.
Super.
So I just thought I would talk about that a little bit.
Very positive.
And the other thing I wanted to mention, although I see the cameraman is with me, so is that Brazil refuses GMO imports from the United States.
Brazil now.
Yes. So the new set of genetically modified foods that they say haven't been tested properly, and they're refusing to let them into Brazil.
Good.
You know? So we live in the middle of all these genetic food things, and we don't even realize that the stuff that we're eating is not the same as we were eating 20 years ago, and that it is having a different effect on us.
I'm wondering if because we're more aware now, if that's going to help.
Are we?
And I think more people are becoming aware, but how is that going to help us?
No.
How are we going to know anyway?
Let me ask you a question. If somebody sit down with you and say, this is genetically modified flour. This is what it does to you because of the glyphosate and all these things in it. These are the effects that you can have. And you say, okay, I understand that. And I come down the road next day and meet you eating roti that you just make from the same flour. What am I to think?
Right. Well, I'm listening. I'm not paying attention.
You just write off 99% of the human race.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And that is the problem.
All right. Anyway, we've got to wrap it up for this episode. Doc, thank you so much for that information. Black cumin, I think it's about time to stock up on some of that in the kitchen for many of the ailments and conditions that we experience. Anyhow, we hope you enjoyed today's episode of In Power Health. I'm Alex Singh. Join us again next week for another great episode where we will give you some more information from the bulletin board and help you to change your life for the better. This has been In Power Health.